So as we begin week number 12 in Project 70, it really feels like the band is back together for one more day. The 52 mantle, but he puts it on a 2021 Topps card, so he's melding the two. Very, very happy to see an artist celebrate Larry Doby and get him in Project 70. And so while that Mickey Mantle by Ermsey sold over the average and the mean in Project 70, it was not the best-selling card in week number 11. But welcome to episode number 33 of the Project 70 show. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram as @CRT_Sportscards. And my website is your number one resource for everything related to Project 70, and that is simply CRTSportscards.com. And of course, over the weekend, I did put up pricing from the first artist cards and their foil counterparts from the past 7 days. So check those prices out. And really no surprise here, the leader in the clubhouse is still that Ronald Acuna by Alex Pardee, now over the $65 mark on the average value price. The question becomes is when will that card be worth more than $100 on the secondary market? It's still quite amazing. A card with 14,000 copies continues to increase because you would think at this time supply would simply outstrip demand. But right now, demand is still very, very strong for this card. And also, another thing I added to the website for pricing was foil pricing on the top 10 printed cards in the set. We do have a new entrance into that top 10 list, but if you were looking for what the foils are selling for on the top 10 cards, because they're not always first player cards or first artist cards, check out the website for those prices as of right now. So with it being Monday, there are 3 different avenues we can take here. Number one, the 4 cards that got released today. And I will tell you, I have been very, very happy and excited to see this release date for a couple of days now. To have Blake Jamieson, Naturel, Gregory Siff, and Efdot, 4 Project 2020 artists release a card on the same day. It just brings a smile to my face, and I was very, very happy to see what they released today. We can also talk about the print runs from the weekend. We can talk about the highs and also some lows from the cards that posted over the weekend. And then also, I am going to revamp the show a little bit. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's hit up the print runs first. Let's go with the maybe bad. Let's talk about the low numbers. We now have the second lowest and the lowest printed cards in the set. One was a surprise. One actually caught me off guard. So second from the bottom here, we have Mims bands with their Tony Kemp, with their Matt Kemp. And that Matt Kemp for me was not really a surprise, just because, as we talked about last week, that artist proof sat on the website for a good amount of time. So that right there showed that the card was not being as received as well as maybe the artist hoped it would. So that card coming in 1,116. Look, it's still a good number. If I tried to release a card today in Project 70, I might sell like 15 copies. So to have an artist release a card to still sell over 1,100 copies in a 70-hour time period is still a good number here, but that is now the second lowest card in the set. But the lowest card of the set at the moment, and it kind of maybe breaks my heart a little bit because it is New York Nico, but we do have that Garrett Cole, 1,100 on the dot, which of course is going to bring in the famous question, are we gonna see under 1,000? It almost kind of feels inevitable at the moment that we're going to see a number under 1,000, but I still think right now it is harder to sell less than 1,000 copies in a 70-hour window than it is to sell over 10,000 copies. So we'll find out. Of course, everything we think about this set is kind of out the window when you think about the most valuable card is printed over 14,000 times. So we will wait and see if we ever drop below 1,000. But now speaking about 10,000, we had an artist get very, very close to 10,000, but falling just about 500 copies short. But congratulations to Lauren Taylor with her Mike Trout. That number, 9,472, is now the 7th largest printed card in the set. And if you do the math when it comes to this card being available for 4,200 minutes, she was selling 2.25 cards per minute during the buying window. So just a phenomenal job with this card, Lauren Taylor. This card nearly doubled the second highest printed card of the week. That Ermsey Mickey Mantle, which is 5,000, which is a heck of a number right now. When you think about, we also had cards sell at 1,100. This is now only the third card in the top 10 since April 5th. So it really feels that finishing in the top 10 right now is rarefied and it should be celebrated. So congrats again, Lauren Taylor, for your Mike Trout. And now shifting gears a little bit here when it comes to what changes you are going to see in the near future from this channel and sort of my content creation schedule. Look, since the beginning of Project 70, this has been a Monday, Wednesday, Friday show when it came to 3 cards per day. But now that we are releasing 4 cards per day, with print runs happening at the end of the week, a lot of times all on Monday, I need to slow down the content release schedule a little bit just so I can go back and research what is happening in the meantime. Right now, my biggest feeling when it comes to this set from a content creation perspective is I just feel a little bit behind, because there's not only this show that I was putting out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there was the website I was trying to update all the time, and I just feel kind of behind on a lot of different things at the moment. So for at least the next 60 days, I'm going to try to revamp everything here, and I'm going to be releasing videos now on Tuesday and on Friday. So on Tuesdays, that's going to give me the ability to talk about the first 8 cards of the week and then the last 12 print runs. So that's a nice even 20 numbers. But because there's not as many shows for the week, there's going to be more time for me to do some research on the back end and really figure out some of the storylines back behind those numbers. And then on the Friday show, we're going to talk about the last 12 cards of the week with, of course, the first 8 print runs if we see them by that time period. I just think right now, for my schedule outside of work, this makes the most sense, and it also creates better content for the show versus me rushing home, figuring out what the print runs are, what the cards are, and then trying to put a video out just because I said it was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then speaking about my daily or every other day contest for the free Project 70 cards, those of course are here to stay. I plan to run them through the end of the set just as a thank you for the continued support of my channel and of the website here. But here's where the slight change is going to be happening. The Tuesday giveaways will be from the Tuesday cards. That'll be exclusive to YouTube. Now, there's going to be a Thursday giveaway, but you say, Chris, there's no show on Thursday. The Thursday giveaway will be based specifically on Discord. So check out my server on Discord. It's CRT space sports cards. There's going to be a link in the description below. I believe you have to copy and paste it. It's not as easy as they make it seem to be. But if you're looking to join my Discord server, send me a DM on Twitter, Instagram. I'll get you a link to my Discord server. But the Thursday giveaway will be exclusive to Discord on its own channel. And because of all this change, the contest tonight, I think you are going to like very, very much. But now let's talk about the cards that released on Monday. And if you think I'm about to pick a favorite today, this is kind of like picking my favorite child. I don't think I can ever do that, although I don't have kids myself. But here we are. We have Blake Jamieson with his Ricky Henderson. We have Efdot with his Wade Boggs. We also have Gregory Siff with Rod Carew. And then we have Naturel with Reggie Jackson. When it comes to your favorite card of the 4, which one took that prize home for you as a collector of Project 70? Now, my biggest surprise when I saw all 4 of these cards from these 4 artists who we got to know intimately last year, was the fact that Blake Jamieson did a player he did last year with Ricky Henderson. And if you go back to May, when you go back to the early time of Project 2020, what was the card that really maybe put Blake on the map? It was that Ricky Henderson. That was the card that was included in a lot of the magazine articles up to the buildup of the Epic Bubble, which in a few weeks is going to be 1 year ago. So I understand that they were constrained to the rookie cards from last year, but it was interesting to think about all of the players that they could have used that Blake went back to Ricky Henderson. So the question right now is, if you're a Blake fan, are you buying Ricky 1 from last year, or are you buying Ricky from year number 2 this year in Project 70? I know, of course, we can have both. They're both rather inexpensive right now. But if you only had to pick one, which one are you picking? But now moving from that Blake Jamieson to what I think right now is probably going to be the best looking set in Project 70 from just a display perspective. We have Naturel with his Reggie Jackson. And of course, Naturel goes back to the blue background. That is the background of his breaker mats when he's signing his autographs on Instagram. That's also the back of his companion cards. And by the way, Naturel, where is your 3rd companion card out? We're now in your 4th Project 70 card. I'm patiently awaiting that 3rd companion card drop. But the blue background just works so incredibly well on these cards because it brings out the player. And if you did not know, on Naturel's cards, he kind of does easy mode for us this year. He doesn't hide his Easter eggs. He puts them in plain sight for us this year with a little star. And so when you look at Reggie Jackson's sleeve there, you have the star and you have Mr. October. So just another clean and crisp design here from Naturel in Project 70. But now if you're like, Chris, I just want to have a beer right now. It's Monday night. Now, I know it's not the weekend, but I just want to have a beer. I recommend you pick up Wade Boggs by Efdot. And so, of course, you don't have to go too far into Google to figure out why there are beer cans on the bat of Wade Boggs. I will just say here for Efdot, look, I celebrate artists with their range when it comes to artists who were in Project 2020. And his set this year continues to impress me from what else can he do outside of just what we saw last year in Project 2020. I will also say I'm probably the worst person when it comes to cultural references to really appreciate this card. So someone out there on Twitter, Instagram, enlighten everyone around all of the references on this card, because I'm going to be the worst person to give this card its full due. But if beer isn't your true jam here and the Beastie Boys is more your style, it is of course time for you to pick up this Mad Hits Carew. We have Rod Carew by Gregory Siff in an Angels uniform, not a Twins uniform. So hopefully there are no Twins fans out there that are heartbroken by the fact that Rod Carew is in an Angels uniform versus the Twins uniform, but he did spend half of his career in both organizations. He is an 18-time All-Star, and he is retired. His number's retired by both organizations. So in my opinion, as a fan of baseball, you can never go wrong with putting him in an Angels uniform or a Twins uniform. But the reason why I like this card is I just love the image Gregory Siff used for Rod Carew. You know what you're going to get from Gregory Siff. This card is right in line with what we expect to see, but I think the picture, what he's using more in Project 70 this year than he did last year in Project 2020, makes this card one of the best cards of the day. So now here's how the contest is going to work tonight. There's going to be 2 giveaways on YouTube, and there's going to be 2 giveaways on Discord, which means I'm giving away every single card for free that releases today in Project 70. So on Discord, we have Siffdot, we have Gregory Siff and Efdot. Here's how you win this contest. Number 1, you must be subscribed to the channel here. But number 2, put your combined print run for Gregory Siff and Efdot in the server channel for this episode. The person nearest the number without going over will win that Gregory Siff card. The second place winner will win the Efdot. And then the same thing here on YouTube. The person with the nearest number of the combined print run of Naturel and Blake Jamieson will win that Naturel card, and the second person will win that Blake Jamieson. So I'm excited to see how this contest turns out, to see if somebody can win both on YouTube and on Discord. With that, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back on Friday night for episode number 34 of the Project 70 show.